Capricorn, welcome to your mid-August 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So, as I've been saying, I'm going back to old school with my plaid background. Rider Waite deck. I bet there's a lot of Capricorns who like plaid, because plaid is very traditional. I remember when I was a kid in the 70s, I think plaid was big, because I remember having plaid pants. And I think on the Brady Bunch they had a bunch of argyle pants and plaid, and oh gosh, oh my god, the early 70s. I would say early 70s and mid to late 80s fashion disasters. I like the late 70s, and I like the early 80s, some of the fashions that were then, but not those other two time periods. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Knight of Swords. So, interesting. Who is this person? Is this you? Are you like on a mission? Are you like, have you got do you have a bee in your bonnet about something? Capricorn, like, are you on a crusade? This could just simply be that you're very assertive, but I would say especially verbally. So if something you've tolerated something a long time, and now you feel like you have to speak up about it. And, it can be for just general ambitious nature, success driven, maybe you're in a very driven type of mode, because from what I understand, the knight represents the fire element. Somebody told me something else, though. So that's why I'm a little bit reluctant to just act like I know what I'm talking about, because I know that swords relate to the air element. And so the air is the intellect and the communication and written. In terms of professions, this can be like a writer, an educator, a lawyer, and maybe you're dealing with a lawyer. I mean, it could be that you're involved in some kind of legal matter as well. But if this is you, it's like maybe just coming out, I was going to say coming out of the closet with your need to tell other people who you really are. And perhaps, I'll tell you one time when a Capricorn person would do that. If their job was threatened, if their career was threatened in any way. So if with this shutdown, if that has impacted your job and things have changed and they're trying to do certain things that don't sit well with you, you might be quite vocal about it, and you're not going to just sit there and take it. In the past position, we have the Wheel of Fortune, so that sounds good. But the Wheel of Fortune can also be kind of like the fickle finger of fate. Like I don't really believe in that. I look at the Wheel of Fortune as aligning yourself with success. And yes, I do believe that there are outer cycles, maybe like even astrological cycles. Or, in addition to that, your own personal cycle in life. And that you might even be able to kind of track these cycles, and you can use things like numerology for that, where you have certain cycles. And even when I was a kid, I noticed that on odd number years, and I was born on an odd number year, that it seemed like my life was more eventful. But that's not always the case. Sometimes I've had things happen that were on an even number year. But I noticed that even when I was a kid, I was looking for patterns in life. And you may see the same thing. And I really believe that Capricorns in general think that they make their own luck. That it's their own efforts that, guarantee success or failure. Not just an astrological transit, having, being born into the right family whatsoever. As a matter of fact, rags to riches is the, Capricorn model. So you're not afraid of hard work. You're not afraid to climb the ladder of success. In other words, that implies that you're at the bottom at some point. That you're not just like flying to the top. You're willing to do that. But there might be some times in your life where you're like, what is going on? It seems like everything I do doesn't work anymore. And I do think that, I didn't think about this, but the Wheel of Fortune is connected to Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Capricorn. So it might be talking about this current cycle, which I believe began when did it go into? I think last November or December, something like that. So it's been around for for almost a year now. And this may have been a fortunate year for Capricorns, with it being in conjunction with your sun sign, or if it's in conjunction with your rising sign, being in that first house. So, I don't know how that has figured into things, but it may have made you more bold, that you don't fear life as much. Maybe it's made you more positive, because Capricorn does tend to be quite somber as a sign, Saturnian. In some cases pessimistic, but you see it as realistic, as being, in the real world. And the higher message is the King of Pentacles. And this is kind of like your aspiration as a Capricorn. King of Pentacles. But what is the king? The king is not somebody who takes orders. The king gives orders, if anything. Or at the very least, the king is, the master of his own domain. He's not, or she isn't, that's why I'm saying king, because it's a man, but you know what I mean. Non-gender specific. The king is in charge of their domain and is not dependent on anybody else to tell them what to do. But you know what? You have to, in order to get there, you have to fight for the right to be yourself. And that's how I see the Knight of Swords in a lot of ways. Is you have to speak your truth. Maybe you've been kind of inauthentic in order to get ahead, and you've been seeing how that can work against you, because even those people who try to brown nose their way to the top don't always succeed. That somebody else is still favored over them when it comes to, landing a job that they're looking for, a coveted position. So it's one of those things where you might try and find that it just isn't working no matter what. So you have to keep plugging away. Also, the King of Pentacles is like, keep your eyes on the prize. This is a spiritual position, so it's more of the philosophical angle of things, the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. If the Knight of Swords is that, this, I have said this before, that this could be somebody that you're dealing with, and you don't like this person because of their attitude. They're kind of like, the first word that came into my mind is trollish. Maybe they try to start things, and you feel this sense of annoyance at this person and what they how they carry themselves, conduct themselves, they may be doing it for a specific purpose. They're trying to get a response out of you, maybe, and you have to be aware enough not to fall for the okie doke. What crosses you is the Queen of Pentacles. And another thing that I wanted to bring out here, because we have the Queen and the King of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is the female counterpart of the King of Pentacles, obviously, but this can be the husband and the wife, being the father and mother, and definitely with an emphasis on those partnerships that a Capricorn person has had with another person of the earth element, or if they're from a different element, they still have a strong materialistic bent to their nature. And why this is crucial, Capricorn, is that this person may be engaged in kind of a power struggle with you. I was just doing another reading, and I was acknowledging that somebody wrote to me and said, you keep talking about narcissists, like you must be dealing with that. And yes, I have experience with narcissism, and I've been studying it primarily through watching videos on YouTube, and that's been highly illuminating. Don't discount that as a great source of information, because it really is, especially when you're dealing with somebody who has also dealt with that. And if you're an empathic person, Capricorn, don't underplay this, because this may be a very big deal. Narcissism, I now feel, is a huge problem in, I would say, the United States. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I think that the American culture celebrates narcissism. And what I want to say about this is that with the King and Queen, I tend to think of these are the narcissists, because they are the ones who are in positions of power, that they want to be in positions of power so that they can control others. And with this, it's through the earth element, or specifically money. And this is a big thing with narcissists. They tend to attract money, and then they use it to control other people. So because I have the Queen, which represents the mother, and the King, the father, yes, this could be your own parents who have done this to you, and maybe you are, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune, for some reason, when I was thinking of it in that term, I thought of an inheritance. And I'm trying to think astrologically if there's any basis for that. Yeah, there would be, because of Leo. The Leo energy is in your 8th house in this time frame of mid August, yes. But in any case, regardless of, what's going on astrologically, this may be something that you're dealing with, and you can hire a lawyer, you can speak out against it, but you might be dealing with people who they just live to cause pain, to provoke a negative reaction from you. And sometimes I think a lot of times the best way to handle that is to be completely neutral, so that you neutralize any kind of gain that they would have. You don't let them see you sweat. The Queen of Pentacles in the challenge position can be a woman, an older woman who is very materialistic, and she could also have like a shopping addiction. So she's trying to kind of like fill the void with, things instead of being very, looking to other things in life for fulfillment. She thinks that it's all due to what you can buy. But she might actually be creating this sense of problems with the finances. Maybe this is your stepmother, and the King of Pentacles is your father, and he might be the one that is the good parent, if you will, the one that is doing the right things, but he's also under her spell. And you might be very outspoken because you can see exactly what's going on here. Also, if this is related to your own life, the Wheel of Fortune can be that you are having success and your partner isn't. And it's like creating power imbalance, a power imbalance in the relationship, especially if you are a woman, maybe over the age of 40 or 50, and your husband or male partner is of the same age range. And I'm saying this because the, traditional roles of male and female may be more likely to be kind of exercised in these cases, that your partner may not appreciate this change of, events, and that could cause stress in your relationship. But I feel like the Queen of Pentacles in reverse can be somebody who is mishandling money, and so if it's in the workplace, this person may not. Maybe it's like a coworker who is also has a child, and you're being forced to work for them, doing some of their work, but you're not getting extra money, and that doesn't sit well with you. What's coming in as the Six of Wands, this is very good for career recognition. So this is about taking your bow, about getting accolades from your career, and maybe you have had to kind of almost fight for that there's somebody standing in your way, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe she's jealous, especially if you are a woman and she is, or, I suppose it could be like a coworker who has seniority to you, and she, is on maternity leave, but she's kind of like tight with the boss. I mean, that's kind of a stretch, but I just wanted to I don't know. I'm saying everything that comes into my mind in case that it's a message from my spirit guide that I'm not familiar with. So it's a very positive card. It's a card connected to Leo. So it's about, and Leo, gets the reputation of being very narcissistic, but one of the good things about Leo is that there's a sense of pride that the person feels. And pride is so great, why not feel proud of yourself if you have achieved something? And the outcome is the Page of Swords, and this is, you can see in this picture, the person is kind of watching their back a little bit. They're not quite sure what, who's doing what to whom. So there's this sense of, it doesn't have to be as far, full-blown as paranoia, but this sense that you have to kind of watch what's going on because other people may be trying to get one over on you. Maybe you're documenting something in the workplace because it might be that you are given your just dues, and perhaps that also goes along with finances, I'm not sure, but you still need to document things that are going on in the workplace because you feel like this Queen of Pentacles person has it in for you, and that you have to, prepare in case you need legal representation. So the Knight of Swords might be you, but it might be a lawyer that you are kind of bouncing ideas off of. If you feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, you could feel like you landed this great opportunity, this account for the company, and that you haven't seen any financial compensation for it. It's like they're not acknowledging your work. Well, you do get acknowledged according to this reading, but you still, for some reason, are feeling like you have to be wary and be vigilant. Maybe in the future that they don't do this to you again. Maybe it's not that something is currently happening, but that you have to, keep on your toes. Okay, this is what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope this resonates on some level. If you'd like a personal reading, I'm offering a special, which are 2 full-length readings of natal chart interpretation and a full-length tarot reading. So this is called the Whole Enchilada, and I have other, single readings that you can look at. The link to that is below. It's, my website is rainamoonAstrology.com. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.